All right, guys. Seriously, though, don't laugh. Don't laugh, guys. I know it's rough. Just use your imagination. Like, there's, like, really cool things in the background. About to get the matchup underway. We're going to have map boss shuffle. They started too early for me. They're quick. Andy has audio. We're going to have the tunic music, guys. Yeah, it's dark mode. I kind of want something that's, like, dark like this, but I want something obviously a little bit busier. Everything like that. Andy immediately got owned. Good. And we got map compass boss shuffle. So what are the 5 modes in the tournament this year around within the main tournament? The basic gist of it is that maps and compasses are wild, so they're shuffled throughout the rooms there. And other than that, basically the same. Oh yeah, there's boss shuffle too. So you got some boss randomizer going on, and you have the map compass. So pretty quirky mode. Lots of variance there. Could run into some real problems if you rush early bosses. You don't have the gear for it. So we'll see how it kind of goes and how she plays out. The cropping on the left. Oh, good call. I didn't see that. Let me just shield the deal over here, guys. I'm still learning the cropping. Hold on. Watch this, guys. Guys, I DM'd Felix like an hour ago. I'm like, I think I'm missing something easy for restreaming, for cropping. What was it? And he's like, oh yeah, it's shift. Oh, I just got to hold shift? Oh, that's easy. Thanks, buddy. And we just got to fix the top a little. Oh, it's too much top. Let's crop a little. I did have them kind of pre-crop for the practice, but you know how those things go. There we go. Looks a lot better now. But yeah, already got an early bottle. Not really much else. Things that can go wrong in this mode. Everything. So again, what map compass means in terms of a race is that now my dungeon pool can be elevated by extra 2 items, which will greatly shift the meta to kind of want to cover off those dungeons earlier. So, you know, if there's a dungeon that you couldn't complete before, so say like a Skull Woods, notably terrible dungeon, if you don't have a fire rod and it has a lot of small keys, now I can have all 4 items in the front. So it's a really good kind of look to kind of challenge yourself in how you approach races. I do know for a fact, guys, Andy hates map compass shuffle. So this is probably like, you know, we have inverted keys. We have all these gross modes that people don't seem to like for the most part. I feel like this is Andy's like least favorite mode. So I probably rolled his eyes. As I said in another Discord earlier today, fast enough to kind of, you know, adjust the Earth's gravitational rotation around the sun. So we'll see how he kind of handles the frustration on doing it. Got an early shield here, so not really too much else going on. Red boomerang. Yeah, just not a whole lot, right? But it's early. It's only like 3.5 minutes in. Get some money. That's really nice for the bottle vendor early. Gives them a play to Zora as well. If they get some more rupees behind that, a little bit more health. And Tjjoll is not too far behind here. The pug just flexing his executional muscles. Either that or it sinks off a little bit. I'm not sure. Because I'm doing this through Chrome early, Monka. I will have this set up properly, guys. If this, again, it's already looking pretty good right now. So I do want to kind of continue this on. Hopefully as a successful project. So I will kind of look at better restream methodology. So it might be a little, again, a little dank for now, as you can see with the overlay. But again, enough of that. I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about the, you know, the Fight Night project and Andy sucking at MC Shuffle for like 2 hours. So let's just get back to the match. Pretty boring Kakariko, honestly, guys. It's like a real big sleeper. Nothing really to talk about. And he is going to go ahead and buy bombs here. Smart play. I imagine TJ is going to do the same here. So they only really have that boomerang as a stun property, but they need bombs to kind of be able to break open a bunch of these bomb walls. They're going to be along the lower end of Hyrule, where they need to check for some more chests. Yeah, I guess schedule library next. Library sucks, guys. Always. Never has anything good. Just has the book. It's just vanilla immediately. Just like, you know, it's trash. General library trash. Like, no one wants to do library, right? It's awesome. More money at race game. I think that's 100. And he's going to say no. Smart decision. I don't think anyone really goes for any money at that point. I feel like if you really want to make that early play to Zora, maybe you do. TJ is actually going to blind check this, so he's gonna profiteer here. So his kid's trust fund is going to go up by a hundo, which is nice. And it probably strengthens his play to kind of maybe take a stab to Zora early. Through a sequence break without any, like, you know, glove or flippers. But I think he'll still make that play. And it's a 300, so yeah, he has enough money now. So that's great. And you're going to check Dam here, getting a map. It's our first map. It's Hyrule Castle. Gross. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but those maps, is it like keys where the maps show what's a crystal in a pendant? I'm pretty sure it does. Pretty sure it does. Yeah, so TJ just kind of verifying that for me. Thank you, TJ. Appreciate that. 10 minutes in the future. Nice segue. See the bug net at Dam? Early bottle, early bug net. Andy, where's your boots? Just do that sick hover, death hover across East Death Mountain for me. That'd be great. He's not going to do that, guys. But he's going to do the... I love this play. So I call this the anti-clown defense in tournaments. And, like, I'm not saying it because of the opponent or anything like that. I just say it because in, like... I don't know. When I do qualifiers or when I do a race where I'm just like, you know what? I just want to really protect myself against any kind of early shenanigans. This is the play you do. And Andy's like, all right, heck this. I'm going to go for the early Aquino off Dam. Really low variance play. It's only one item. There's a lot of, you know, pumping that he's doing right now to kind of maximize the time. And TJ's doing the same play. Oh, this is so good. I don't know who's chasing who here, but we get a cape from the Agina play. So there is some value to that if Agina ends up being worth there. So, or the play to kind of progress into Dark World. So that's kind of neat how that cape's placed there. It's a really weird spot for it, and we don't really have enough information from the seed yet to kind of tell us where this one's going. But yeah, Andy's gonna make his play here now to the southern end of Hyrule. I imagine TJ's gonna do the same. Unless he wants to pull out the old Solski route and just go right to Agina, or not Agina, right to Sash. It would just give a quality of approval stamp for me. Easy. Go right. Oh, no, he's not. He's gonna follow suit. Smart. What is Andy doing? He's just donating bombs. Like, what was that toss? God, I don't know. Like, did he think it was like Enemizer for a second and those shadow lizards were going by? And he's like, hey, I gotta take that out, man. It's gonna snipe me. Get a nice little ether there. Too bad no sword, so can't really use it. And it's not Enemizer, so he's probably never gonna use it except to open a dungeon. TJ showing some really conservative and good strats here, honestly. Walking into that Moldorm. I don't see a lot of players do that, and I feel like that's the wrong play. Excellent Moldorm room from him. Gets it within 3 bombs. Andy took quite a bit there, so he's catching up quite a bit, actually, on Andy. Again, or the streams are a little desync, but they look okay on my end. Just looking at their timers, so. Guys, let me tell you, that's like one of the scary things is like desync, because I'm not using VLC right now. So I'm like, God, I hope they don't like lag and timeout. Can Bugnut be required in logic for the Agony one outside of Swordless? No, it can't. Thank God. Glove in Ice Rock Cave. Cool. Okay, so that opens up Zora specifically right now. Also gets him back 3. So Annie's gonna go right there. Flashing that that cape in the superior menuing buffer of choice, which is quick swap. I know a lot of you, some of you don't really like quick swap. That's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. It's like Coke and Pepsi, guys. Like some people, they like Pepsi, and then some people, actually want to taste their soda, right? And it's just like, that's the difference. So TJ with the money in hand is going to make the play to Zora here. Andy getting a powder and boots in the back 3. I've officially blessed this C before they raced, guys. I told them, you know what? For you guys, I'm going to pull some strings with the admins. You're going to get the early boots. Everything's going to be fine. And what do you know? He's loving it, man. That little pug go. If he doesn't death other, I'm going to blame you now. Probably. But this... Oh, my God. All right, so there's the Pearl off boots. Bonk rocks. And he's going to chain that in now with a book? Or is he going to go to Death Mountain? He's going to go to Death Mountain. TJ, I don't think, found anything in the... No, he can't check the waterfall yet. So he doesn't have that Pearl. He doesn't have boots. Doesn't have flippers, so he can't check that waterfall. So that's unfortunately an orphan there. He's got to be careful here. He's using some nice strats to kind of get in the water and get his iframes. So the Zora can't just like bully him. Meanwhile, Andy going to check the Lumberjacks. I believe we saw this earlier. Just a heart piece. Yep. I just want to focus all eyeballs here on TJ Joll here as he's using the iframe strat again. Nice, man. Like, say what you will about being in a situation where you're half a heart in Zora. Like, that's like really solid thinking there, especially in a tournament race, to like be calm about it and say, you know what, I'm gonna use my environment to my advantage to secure my safety. Gets only 50 from Zora though. Unfortunate. Andy figuring out where to go. Finally he figures out to use dash buffers. Or I'm just an idiot and it was just the timing between when he was that old man. That's why he was pumping. That's probably what he was doing, but that's okay. We're not gonna call out my mistakes, guys. I'm never wrong as a commentator, okay? It's important. DJ unfortunately gonna go ahead and check out Sash now while Andy scores a hook shot at old man. So Andy's got a lot of good stuff here, and TJ's just a smidge behind it right now, I would say. Like, he has the glove. He's basically just a short walk away from the Sanctuary Warp to get that that boot into that Pearl, right? It's just weird that, like, you just get a hook shot there free from old man. So I'm wondering if, like, Flute or Lamp are down here. Because we don't have traditional Dark World access yet, right? So we'll have to wait and see how this one comes out. Another bottle, fairy sized, as I like to call it. And he's going to go ahead and hook shot over. Nothing in Death Mountain other than that hook shot so far. Does he continue to eat? He is? Ooh. Okay, I like this play. This is a good play, I think. Map Compass Shuffle, guys. You know what? You might find something in Eastern. You might find a bow. You have a possibility of 2 extra items before Armors, right? So you have 5 maybe total. So honestly, not a bad play at this point. Probably would like the back 3 play first ahead of the Sash play, but you know what? It's okay. They'll get there eventually, right? No big deal. It's early game, guys. It's early. So Andy's going ahead and he's going to check the Paradox Cave here. Get a shovel. Just another map. This one's for Hera. And there's the lamp. So that's a tell for Andy. That flute is somewhere. Oh, look at the, oh. Well, guys, sorry. The dog died. Oh, no, it's okay. It's still alive. I thought it died. You know what? Like, when something falls from that height, you never know, right? He's going to try again. All right. Gets across. TJ, where are you going to find us here in Eastern here? So we know that Flute is required now to get to Death Mountain because our lamp was in East Death Mountain here. So we know that's a for sure thing. Sees a compass on the lonely island there in the mountain. Is going to go ahead and check out Spiral Cave. So TJ has at least a couple more chests here that'll have items. We'll have to find the big key in this dungeon. So big keys are vanilla. Not within location, but within the dungeons. So it is only a map compass shuffle. So small keys are always the same. Big keys always the same. Boss might be different. You know, could run into a Trinex here. Could run into Cold Stare. You never know. And is going to go ahead and call it quits here. Interesting. I kind of like the play because you don't have a lamp, but you made the commitment to go to Eastern. So it's an interesting one. But I get why they want to freeze there. I've actually seen other people do it to benefit. So that, I think that's like, I think at this point, that's a strong play. Specifically knowing, you know, what's waiting for him. So the longer it takes without boots, the better. So. All right, so we see a compass here on the dig spot for Swamp. So gonna get the powder, gonna get the boots. Has that small key in hand, is gonna go Dark Cross. Nope, gonna S and Q. Andy, meanwhile, gonna pick up the boots. A la some NMG routing, actually. Dig spot into the library. It doesn't exist in NMG, guys. I'm just joking with you. It's okay. I'm sure there's some connoisseurs of the speedrun that were just like, what are you talking about, Solsky? Like, bro. That's not how that works. Alright, Andy gonna go to escape now. Kind of weird, honestly. Like, he's got the lamp and the glove. I would like to see the desert play here, honestly. But he's going to go ahead and go to Dark Cross first. Probably Death Warp from there and do the rest of Escape. It's just kind of an odd play, right? Like, he knows it's map compass, so he already got the small keys. So it's a safe play to check Dark Cross. That's why he's doing it early. It's just kind of an odd one. You know, you got that book. You know, go to desert. He's probably waiting for a weapon. You're right. You're right. TJ also getting the book here. Nice. Oh. All right, so Andy probably again just rolled his eyes. He's like bro, really? Map compass shuffle and it just throws a compass in the Dark Cross. That's pretty disgusting, honestly. What an actual dick maneuver. Okay, TJ meanwhile gonna make the play to desert. I really like this. Again, is the logical play here. Has not gone to Death Mountain, so does not have that hookshot and lamp. But Andy does. But they're just kind of in two different spots right now. Andy gonna do that swordless play with bombs here. Nice setup. So you get 50 rupees from the first chest. So nothing so far in escape at all. Other than the back. I think something juicy is going to be in desert. I think it's going to be like a hammer or another glove at this point. Knowing what we know from a bird's eye view. But to me, that's even more interesting if that's the case. Because then Andy just has that early hookshot and early lamp. And while a lamp isn't so much of an early advantage, it just gives you access to all those dark puzzles. Or the torch puzzles, I should say. And just gives them better options in dungeons such as Mire. And Desert Back. And there's the flute. So there's our logical waypoint now. So the loop's completed. So again, it's almost like it has to be here in desert, I think. I don't know. Zelda Zell might have something, but we see a not so vanilla big key torch there for TJ. Andy dropping the bomb for question mark reasons. Gets the heart container. Okay, so we get the small key in the big chest from TJ. What is going to be on this right side? This is such a good dungeon in MC, honestly, because you might not have that map compass. Now it's a 4-item dungeon versus a 2. It's super worth early on, I think. If you score a hammer here, you can, like, you can get really dicey and just go for the back. Okay, so unfortunately just a map. Nice shuffle, guys. This is great. And we're gonna get the hammer. Okay, so the hammer's here in desert on the right side. Andy's gonna go there pretty much next, I imagine. If he wants to be really sneaky, though, he'll go to Hylia and do Waterfall and Zora. And then that's what he's gonna do! Oh, it's like I'm reading his mind, guys. This is the cheek play. All right, he's gonna go and do Hobo first, but with that Pearl, he's gonna have Waterfall access. And he's known he's had Zora in Logic for a while now with that glove, so he's gonna kind of go ahead and clean that up. This is a really good read and play by Andy, I think. TJ, meanwhile, gonna go ahead to Hammer Pegs here. He's gonna go to Powder In. Has that Dark World access, so probably just gonna chain this in with the West Dark World. Honestly, very vanilla, but a very strong starter. Map Compass, again, is gonna strengthen and elevate those dungeons like Thieves Town and Skull, where you'd have, like, you know, you can have mid to low keys. Like Thieves Town only has 1 key and Skull has like 3. But again, without those maps and compasses in there and they're shuffled, the ability to have items in there is pretty high, and there's a good chance that they might find something they want there. So definitely going to be a play to look out for. And well, Andy going to give us that look of Waterfall, which TJ couldn't do. This is a pretty cool start. I'm not going to lie, guys. I really like the start of the seed. And you're going to get arrows and a red root. Okay, so we know there's nothing there, so nothing's going to hurt TJ for now, which is actually, you know, I like to say good in these kind of scenarios. Like, you don't want to see a runner get bamboozled by a check like that when they do something like Zora early and then nothing happens. So it's going to kind of keep it tight and interesting, so I kind of like that fact. We see Pendant TR and Pendant Mire. And we also see Crystal Swamp and Crystal Ice. Interesting. So that's 2 late game dungeons that they don't have to worry about. Unless Pedestal has something, but that, like, influence in that percentage is super low right at this point. Alright, Andy gonna make the play to Eastern here. And Sash, it seems. Which, again, is really weird. Okay, now this is weird. This isn't a play I expected him to make at this point, but interesting. Again, maybe he's just playing super conservative, super tight. That's kind of like where my head's going when he makes plays like these. But again, I'm not sure. I know, again, he doesn't really like Map Compass. So it could be just one of those things where he just wants to, you know, I'm just going to like play the seed. Like I'm hundoing it and just go from there and hope to find my stuff. As we see a blue boomerang there at the Bumper Cave spot. But he's got some pretty good gear for it, right? He's got that hook and boots. He's going to be able to get through the dungeon pretty quick. And it's just the one problem is he doesn't have a weapon, right? So he would need a bow to get past the red mimics in Eastern. So it doesn't matter. It's not like a regular enemizer where everything's enemized and can get to the boss. That's not true. He just can't get there. Okay, so you see Thieves Town is another crystal. That's 3 crystals known of the 7 so far. That was a fat fairy one as well, as I like to call it. Okay, TJ is going to make the play here to Thieves. Did not go into early Skull. You know, there's some proponents out there in the randomizer community that are like, you know, you always have to go to Skull Woods. Just never skip it. The math doesn't lie. And you know what, guys? To an extent, the variance is telling you that, yeah, you should always go to Skull. But I kind of like the play not to go to Skull because Skull Woods sucks. Especially with the fighter rev. No one wants to go there. TJ, meanwhile, going to find that red cane in Thieves Town. That's a nice little reward. Doesn't really need it, right? Mire and TR not being crystals. So, of course, the game's going to give you stuff that you don't need. But I guess what it's telling you is that, hey, maybe you have to make a dip into these dungeons. Guys, give it up for that Tunic MSU pack. Holy moly. This music's great. Oh, and TJ's finding what he wants to find here, and that's that first sword in Thieves Town. So that's a really nice find. So guys, to give a quick recap of what's going on. TJ basically played pretty hard within logic. You know, found a glove, did an early Eastern dip, didn't play the dark rooms. Again, staying within logic, didn't go up to Death Mountain. Got rewarded by a hammer in desert by playing to that logic. And has since gone to Dark World, found that Red Cannon sword. Andy, meanwhile, breaking logic intensely. Going ahead to go to that Death Mountain play, you know, playing a little bit, I wouldn't call it aggressive, but just more involved. Found that hookshot in an old man, found that lamp, knew that lamp or flute had to be in logic in Hyrule somewhere, and is still trying to find this hammer. So it's kind of a tricky spot for him right now. And he's going to flute over there now. He's essentially going to last location the hammer here. He's going to be a little bit careful here. He's got 1.5 hearts left. If he takes... Oh, there's another heart drop. Nice. I was going to say, if he takes another heart of damage, he would actually die. These little green crickets. Call them jerks. Call them whatever you want. They're basically Dark World rats. They are Dark World rats. They're just reskinned. Dude, 2 hearts of damage. So yeah, it's pretty tough in this game, and they don't die very easily either. Andy, quick swapping to try and get past the mini Lambo there a little bit faster. Doesn't work. He's just frustrated with the situation that he still doesn't have a weapon at 26 minutes. Can't blame him. I probably would be in that same spot too. Okay, TJ making his way into the basement of Thieves Town now. Yeah, so the settings today are map, compass, boss shuffles. So what that means is all the maps and all the compasses that would normally spawn within dungeons are now included in the entire basically fill, or the item pool if you want to call it that. And that means that now you can have more items in dungeons than you previously would. And the boss connotation there means that you're going to have random bosses within these dungeons. So TJ could find his way to Blind Cell and actually sees that, hey, Blind's not there. So it's kind of one of those things like, you know, you don't know what you're going to get until you find it, right? And there's nothing that can tell you that, hey, I know what boss is here. You have to go into the room and find out. Andy getting that hammer is going to continue on into Desert back. I kind of like this play. A little risky with just a hammer. And by risky, I mean just slow. And that's not happening. DJ actually making a really good play here. Remembers that he has a fairy, just dumps it and goes for the quick death warp here. Just so he can kind of maintain the route. That's a really heads up play. Again, a reason why TJ's in group stage right now. It's a pretty good highlight there. You know what? A lot of people would actually forget about that, myself included. I'm notoriously terrible for forgetting about fairies in my bottles, so that's a good read there. All right, Andy's going to make his way to the back of Desert. Again, just armed with that hammer. Can't complete it because he does have that glove, does have that lamp to finish the torch puzzle at the end. Just rather unfortunate way to do it. He'd probably prefer to even have something like a bow. So it's pretty close to and tight to NMG strats, but unfortunately, you know, he's going to be able to do tempered sword damage with that. It's just going to be quite slow. I saw that's a really quick map there. I didn't really see if there's any new information. It was like the quickest of menus. Holy. But yeah, let's see what Andy has here for a boss. Oh my god. Actually, this isn't bad, but it's bad, guys. So Viddy's in the back here in Desert. It's actually a really good spot for Vitreous to be at because he doesn't have the goo, so to speak, right? Just continually doing 1 heart of damage to him. And it also increases like where he can be safe within the room because that goo kind of hides him as he gets a little bit of hit on the big eyeball there. Nice. But he can just kind of like wait out the eyeballs. And the way this fight works, guys, is that the eyeballs are going to go to where you are. So what that means is they track to where you were, I guess is probably a better way to put it. He's making away. One more eyeball. Now I'd say this is the easiest part of the fight for a hammer Vidi, but he can kill Andy. One hit and he's dead. Gets the fight done. Very nice. Very nice fight by Andy. Not to kind of take away too much from that, as Andy gets his first crystal. So Desert is a crystal. Is that TJ did find the bow in Hype Cave. So we got some really good item finds here. And in progress through both screens right now. So TJ's going to go ahead and kind of pop his way into pod with that bow. And why not? Now, with that bow, you can pretty much do all pod, minus maybe the boss, question mark. We'll have to wait and see. All right, Andy's like, finally, I could go to Dark World. I'm so excited I'm going to bonk into that cliff there. Excuse me, I need to go fast. TJ, meanwhile, making the exact same call out. I gotta go fast too. Just bonks into the shrubbery. I know what he's thinking, guys. He's got a sword. Thinking maybe I can just cut across that that garden there, but it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Okay, so TJ paying that toll of 110 rupees to Kiki. 10 for the service of escorting, which really wasn't escorting, was more him following. And then the 100 to get entry. Gets a small key in that first test. We know pod was not... Basically, I guess the way that works within Phil is that it's not intended to be bow locked, at least for the start. So a lot of the front end chests are going to be in logic here without a bow. But it's kind of a relevant conversation because TJ found that nice little bow spot in Hype Cave. So we're probably not going to focus on that too much anymore. Andy again with the follow-up anti-clown. I love this play by Andy. He's playing so tight right now. This is honestly how I would like to play my group matches and my qualifiers. I like to play super tight. So if I have an avenue to do something like Andy just did and check that early pedestal, I feel like that's a really good strong play. Because you never know, right? Like you could like get the miracle, hey, by the way, here's like, you know, required fire rod. You know, it wouldn't be because TR, but I'm just saying as an example, guys. Actually, fire rod might not be required for TR because boss shuffle. Oh yeah, I didn't really think of that. These are the things, guys, you got to consider with this tournament of its wacky modes. But Andy not going to be disappointed for very much longer. You know, he's probably pretty sad he still doesn't have a sword, but he's going to have one very shortly. Meanwhile, TJ is going to make his way throughout the right side of pod. Just tons of keys in pod, guys. 6 keys. Gets a blue mail. That's a really good find. On it, I'm going to highlight that tunics. Get it? Because the OST for Andy, tunic. The blue and red tunics are really good finds in this mode. Because now it allows our runners to be a lot more safe within like the chaoticness of the random boss shuffle. So if they were running a, you know, say a desert Vitreous like Andy had to, now you have that blue mail and it's just a lot easier of a fight. You can take more damage from those eyeballs. So I really like the fact that he was able to find one early. That's something I would be honestly, like, you know, within my experience too, I would still be looking for a tunic at this point. I'd be like, please give me the defense. I'm on 6 hearts. Give me that deeps. And by deeps, I mean defense. It's okay, guys. All right. So interesting enough, TJ's been very like, okay, there's Andy. So Andy has that fairy in his bottle still, so that's exactly like, that's why I highlighted it for TJ, why it was such a strong like understanding of what he had, right? And Andy's just like, heck. Now it's gonna have to go through a little bit of an extra, you know, Massage, if you want to call it, from Trinex over here. And is going to take the nap and Death Warp back out the door. TJ finding the half magic in the Hellway there in Pod. He'll be setting up a hammer jump here. Really particular placement for the hammer jump. So what they're looking for is like a couple of like lines and dots on the wall in the far left here. And you have to be like, you can see those dots throughout the wall. So you have to know like where to line up near that rail. And they want to see about 3 lines of like the shadow of the bomb on the second part of that lineup. And if you, as long as you do those 2 things, you can get the bomb jump lined up, no problem. So yeah, Andy's still up 1 crystal to 0 on TJ so far. Did complete desert. Did get rewarded with a Vitreous fight they had to do very early. TJ taking a death there. That's unfortunate. Didn't have another fairy. So I'm pretty sure that means that both those Darkroom maze chests are kind of unchecked at this point. It's real unfortunate. That's going to be a bit of a time loss there. But more importantly, I feel like he has run into that big key. So at this point, it's like, do I just make the play for the boss or do I go for the items? Oh, he did get the bottom right one. Okay. I wasn't sure if he got the actual bottom right one or if he just like died outright getting to it. But yeah, he's going to make the play to go to the boss here. Pretty risky. Okay, we see Skullwoods is also a crystal. Okay, so 5 of our 7 crystals are known. So that means that the other 2 are going to be in Light World somewhere. Or Pod has it, because I don't think we know what Pod has. So Pod might have the one of the last 2 crystals here. Andy making his way to Hype Cave. Gonna get that bow. And TJ paid, at the price of 1 arrow, a nice little massage. I don't know if they're... Are those things still around, guys? Like those massage... Like in hotels where you put the coin-operated massage bed or whatever and it just goes... You know the one, guys. Like you've seen it in like Simpsons and all those other shows in the 90s. Do they still exist or are they like gone now? Not a hotel you'd want to be at. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. TJ having a bit of a time here in the dark room, but uses ether. So this is a nice little strat here. As long as you get the hammer down on the terrapins here and flip them, ether will actually kill them. Am I drunk? No. Andy! What is that? Oh, that's a good find. Titan Mitt on the pyramid was camouflaging itself from TJ, unfortunately, but Andy was able to spot it with his superior dog-like vision. And now has a pretty good edge on TJ, actually. Has the hookshot, has the lamp, has the Titan Mitt. He's got a lot of options to him, though, right? Like, he's got a lot of things he needs to do, whereas TJ's going to have kind of a different route here. And I do want to call out that, like, when TJ does make their way up to Death Mountain, they're going to have, like, an easier access point to Hera than Andy, right? So it's kind of interesting how this one's playing out. And if I were Andy in this position, I'd probably go back to Death Mountain knowing that. So if I think my opponent might have gotten Hammer earlier, and might be able to route in Hera soon, or might go to Hera, like, now-ish, I probably want to do Hera into Dark World Death Mountain now. And gets the silvers at Quackfish. Quakefish. The fish of Cat. TJ making it way through the dark room. Gets the vanilla Helmosaur. Okay, so this is actually a good fight for him. Because it's vanilla room. He's like done it a million times. But you're on Fighter Sword and you have 2.5 hearts on Blue Mail. Andy playing tight. And he's going to Death Mountain. What a read. Okay, this is the good play here, honestly. Helma's like right up to him. Dodges the tail by like pixels. That was a nice dodge. Just gets out the bow. Just get out the bow. You're on fighter sword. You can do hammer strats against Helma, but again, you're low health. Utilize what you got, right? Just a nice conservative play. Gets the job done. Let's see if it's the last pendant or crystal. It's another crystal. So 6 of the crystals are known. 1 pendant's in Light World, and 1 the last crystal's in somewhere in Light World. So that'll be between Hera and Eastern at this point. TJ gonna continue his path through Dark World. This is so good. He's gonna find those Titans. And, you know, if he continues on his way through, he's gonna find those silvers too. So that's really nice. And he's going ahead to right to Dark World here. Interesting play. I'm surprised he didn't go for Hera, but knowing that's Map Compass boss shuffle, he's probably thinking, you know what, I'd rather not risk the Hera climb without doing this first. So I can kind of understand it. But it's just weird to me that you make this play so early. Andy, where are you going, son? Where's Andy going? Chat? Oh, he's got cape. That's why. He's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a pretty tight spike cave though. He's going to GT. I'm just saying that because his resources are not great. Takes a bonk on the torch though. That's actually not good for Andy. He's gonna be really tight here. Oh, that is so close. That's what I'm talking about, chat. Like, when I say, like, trust me, guys, I've played the game a couple of times. All right, like, that's a pretty risky early spike cave, honestly. That was really close. And he's going to pod. Okay, interesting play. Again, I'm kind of surprised he doesn't want to play Hera here, but I get it because Pod is like going to have more items potentially because the MC Shuffle, right? Has everything in logic to do it. It's just an interesting play. It's going to pay out for him. It's good. I mean, there's nothing really too much there except for the half magic, right? But I don't know. Interesting one. Okay, so we have those Titans. So now we have like Mire area unlocked. We had that Dark World Death Mountain. Andy's already touched it. We don't really have the goods there. TJ's going to go ahead and check out King's Tomb. This is a pretty strong opening play, honestly. And there's the mirror in King's Tomb. Interesting spot for it. That's a really... I almost want to call it greasy spot for it. Still does not have any Light World maps. So TJ does not have any information regarding Desert Eastern or Hera. But has the map now. So Mire Desert area maybe? Like where are you heading off to? Are you going to Skull? Is that where you're gonna go? That's another curious play. That's not one I would expect, honestly. Interesting. Both our runners kind of surprising me here. Oh, okay. I understand now. I'm reciprocating. He's gonna do Smith's Purple Chest and Hammer Face here. Okay. You just got those Titans. You just got that mirror. Clean up the overworld. I like it. All right, so both our runners are effectively tied right now. At 1 crystal apiece. Andy has completed Desert. TJ has completed Pod. 2 highlights to that is Andy has done pretty much all of Death Mountain. So has a hookshot lamp. And TJ's done... What was it again? My memory escapes me. All Pod, sorry. Minus 1 chest in the top left of Dark Maze. Just because a heart container here and the hammer pegs. Man, if anything happens in this purple chest, oh man, this might be a race. Andy getting his red mail. He's gonna be so happy to see that. He doesn't know it. Oh, oh, that's a quake up there. That's an interesting one. Chat, did we see TR's medallion? Did Andy scout it or no? I don't remember him scouting it. Or if I did, I was too busy thinking of a Bruce Valanche joke to actually think about it and talk about it. It's Bombos? Okay. You're the best, chat. Chat, I don't care what Dataplet says about you guys behind the scenes in a variety of Discords. You're all right in my books. So the Quake could be the answer here for like a Mire dip, right? Mire's a 4-item dungeon now potentially versus 2. So again, I'm gonna keep stressing that narrative, guys, is that dungeons are more or less the play here. Just really giving our runners some stronger options of where to go. So it's not so much a cookie cutter now, right? Like it's not like, you know, I gotta play my overworld and I gotta play my dungeons and pick my dungeons. Now it's like, do I do overworld? Do I do dungeons? It's kind of like a kind of a quirky mix, right? And there's definitely times where you want to do a dungeon, especially if you have knowledge of it's like, say, a crystal. There's definitely instances where you want to do that high density overworld, right? So it's kind of neat to see how our runners are kind of approaching it right now. Andy actually in a similar situation, but not really. Just setting up for the death warp here. Got the top light left of Pod Darker. Wasn't really anything too much to really talk about. And Andy takes the fall, but he's just taking a nap, guys. It's okay. He's gonna wake up. You know, the Pod Goombas are gonna send him to the entrance, and he's gonna be fine. All right, TJ getting the scout here of Lumberjacks. I thought he checked it earlier, but I guess I was wrong. And then TJ now making the play into Death Mountain. This is an interesting one. So he still doesn't have that lamp. So fun fact, lamps in Death Mountain. So you'd need that flute logically to get up there. So again, it was kind of weird that you're like, I don't want to play Eastern because it's like, you know, there's a dark room coming up and I might not be able to complete it and it's not kind of in logic. But then kind of going through a variety of dark rooms in the dark world. I think there's like method to the madness of that. And I feel like it's just like, oh yeah, you know, lamp's probably here or somewhere else early-ish. Or at least maybe that thought's run through their mind now, right? With pod being done, like all of pretty much the lower dark world. And I'm like, I still don't have this this freaking lamp. Where is it, right? And you having a bit of a smoother time with the Terrapin room. Again, you know what? He's not blind through it. So I'm not going to say, oh my God, Andy's so good, chat. Andy, look at Andy's execution. He hit Y 3 times. Oh my God, guys. Again, it's more impressive to me like how TJ handled it, honestly, than Andy. I'll just call it out right there. But, you know, it was a good 3 Y presses. I'll give him that. It was a good 3 presses of the button. Andy's cat jamming to Helmer right now. Dancing with him, even. If dancing was hitting someone with a mask that's metallic. Uses silvers. Just does the job quick. He's like, I don't want to use the hammer strats. No, thanks. I got this nice silver. Meanwhile, TJ in Death Mountain here, and the Paradox Cave gets their lamp. But Andy gets the lead. So Andy is now up 2 crystals to 1 on TJ. And I want to say this is a pretty, you know, I don't want to call it early lead, but it's definitely now kind of a visible lead now, I would say. But there are some outs. Like, TJ has done some stuff that Andy hasn't done. Andy's done some stuff that TJ might not have done, but TJ is kind of catching up on that stuff now. But as I say that, Andy is executing to Old Man. Okay, he's going to flute away. I was going to say, is Andy going to chase TJ up here to TR? But the answer is no at this point. Andy going ahead to Ice Palace, question mark? Underscore? Yes, he is. Okay. He did do the Zora area. He wasn't just taking his dog swim. So, yeah, not surprised. Knows it's a crystal dungeon. Has red cane from pod. Is like, oh, baby. And it might not be cold stare. Right? So it's kind of a potentially freer look at a nice palace. Really quick dungeon, that Dark World with the icebreaker tech. Showing us his map menuing skills. Impeccable. It was like a flash before my eyes, guys. And he getting the ice rod in Ice Palace. Proper refrigeration for that rod today. Not necessarily relevant, at least in the terms of the seed. So TR is a pendant dungeon. So it could be required if Trinex has an item. Actually, heck, it is required. It's my pumpkin boss shuffle. Chad, I got bamboozled. This mode. God, this is why the runners hate this. Okay, so so Andy needed that for Trinex at Thieves Town. That's right. So he does need that. And he's showing some nice pause bufferless strats here. Getting through the icebreaker. I'm a pause buffer boy myself. I am big on the pause buffers. I have a routine down, guys. I don't want to change it. People are gonna be faster than me. That's fine, man. I want to do my little pauses and get my little lineup, so I'm good to go. Now find your way home. So TJ finds a map there in Ether. Just a little small key there on the U-bend, aka the spike test in ice. Big key in the Hero basement. Okay, so that's nice and early. This is kind of an interesting one. So, depending on where small key is in Hera, if it's not locked away in the basement, it's gonna be an interesting challenge for our runners if they want to, decide to kind of go for Hera basement or go for the skip. TJ going for the hook strats with the boots. Gets it, and very nice. Guys, I really suck at that, so that's good. It's the good stuff. And there's the small key in the big chest. So now TJ has a decision to make whether or not they want to do Hera basement. And I feel like for both of our runners, I would be surprised at 52 minutes in. You know what? Annie will be there a little bit later, potentially. Or could be there a lot later, but TJ being there now. To decide whether or not they want to do it. And we see another Helmosaur. Okay, guys, there's like a shooting gallery option here where you can throw bombs over the railing to get the mask over, but he's like, no, I'm gonna be a bro about it and just hammer him in the face. So Helma up here in Hera's top floor really sucks. So the pit there is a really big problem. So where he's right now, like the Helma, if you were swordless, you tried to hammer that, you would actually sink into the pit. Like you wouldn't get sinked in, but it's like it kind of gravitates you towards there. So it's like a really weird pull. Wait, Lamo's in desert? How'd you guys know Lamo had desert? Or Lamo was in ice? How'd you guys know? Was there is there some ninja jutsu? Oh, the compass tells you. All right, chat. So in Map Compass Shuffle, the compass will tell you what the boss is at the dungeon. You know what, guys? We're learning today together. I really like that. It's a really good moment, guys. Yes, on the Enemizer. Sorry. You're correct. It was a phrasing thing. You know what I meant, though. You all know what I meant. Andy going to Mire area. TJ saying no to Hair Basement after all those shenanigans. I think that's a Bombos at Meyer. A sword and a compass. For a dungeon Andy's already done. So Andy has the Master Sword now. Does still not have that lamp or that mirror. Can't check the checkerboard cave. And Andy's heading on his way up to Hera here. Which honestly, strong play. He knows it's could be a crystal. I think Hera is the last crystal actually. Now that I remember. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Hera crystal? Yay, nay? Question mark? I'm pretty sure it was. Professional restream, guys. Trust me. Here's a pendant? That's awful news. Okay, so we know Eastern's now the last crystal. Okay. The puzzle's been solved. No Eastern palaces? Chat. You know what? Chat as a whole, make up your mind here. You're kind of making yourselves look bad, chat. I'm just saying, like, it's not a good look right now. All right, so Andy actually gonna get a time loss here because he's gonna have to go through the animation of Ether to find out it's just a map. For a dungeon that he hasn't done yet. I would probably map here, and he is, and it is the last crystal. So Hera was indeed the pendant. We got there, guys. And that means that Eastern and Thieves Town are Fat Fairy, aka our Red Crystal dungeons for the Pyramid Fairy 2 chests. If someone had a tracker on screen, you know what? How about this? I just put like a massive tracker on the screen and it like covers up both runners' views. That's like that's gonna be my, I guess, my compromise. It's like, oh, you want a tracker, do you? And it's just like 90% of the screen. No kappa. It's just, it's there. You can't see anything. There's no transparency to it. Actually, no, I want transparency on it because I want like the back. Like I want like the scene of like their view screens to kind of filter through the items. So you can kind of see what's going on, but not really. And then the tracker gets unused, basically. But again, guys, welcome again to kind of the inaugural Fight Night restream. Where I'll be kind of going through some restreams when I launch, hoping for every Saturday night. But for the now, it's just kind of a pilot. Feeling it out, guys. It's a rough look. It's early. It'll look nicer. Trust me. Andy kind of massaging his way through that pit there. Does not want to fall in there. Gets the silver out. Very wise decision. Again, knows he has the DPS with that. And knowing where Helma was positioned, that was a pretty good play there just to kind of take care of the fight early. I thought Saturday night was for hockey night in Canada. Unfortunately, there's no Leaf game on tonight, so that's fine. And knowing our luck, there won't be any further Saturdays for next little while, so I think I'm okay. They'll find a way, guys. It's the Leafs. They'll find a way, all right? TJ going to Eastern here. I like the play. Doesn't have the map to tell him that Eastern's a crystal, but is gonna make the play anyways. So I do like the call out here. Andy just showing these tiles how it's done. He's eating them one by one as they appear to him. He's eating so fast, guys, it's like he's almost not there. It's like he's a ninja. You see that blinking? That's just him moving so fast. Doing Hera Basement. This is such a safe play. Does it pay off? It does not. Red shield. So that's, again, it's a safe play. I think we've kind of gotten what Andy's game plan is from the earlier plays in the seed. But is he playing too safe here, though? Just makes me kind of wonder. We'll shortly get this mirror here, by the way. And then he's probably, again, going to roll his eyes when he sees that mirror. Because it is close to a last location for him. So right now I want to say Andy's still ahead on crystals 3-2. So if you're a Fandy, as they're known, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Your boy's still in the lead. TJ meanwhile still in it. Is not out there. Is not behind by a whole lot at this point. But Andy gonna take that mirror and go straight to swamp area? Doesn't have flippers. So he's going right for Bombos here. Or he's going for Bombos into... Okay, I know what he's doing. Oh, he was thinking about it. No, he's not. Okay, he's going 45 and up. Kind of a fumbly one, right? Like he's thinking about it. He's like, do I want to do Bombos? Not really. Ether sucked. I'm just going to go to K45 then, I guess. Knowing Andy's luck, the Fire Rod will be there. It's okay. God, chat, if the Fire Rod's in Swamp, that's so bad. Or in Bombos, that's so bad. But let me tell you, the worst thing that could be there is the flippers. Because TJ's already done purple chest, so has no reason to kind of go there unless either last location or hoping a prayer kind of play. And Andy's already just said no to it. But Andy will have an opportunity to do purple chest with it. So I guess we'll just have to kind of observe and see how he plays this one out. I feel if he's going up with 45 to like Hammer Pig, Smith's purple chest, he's probably going to flute to that purple chest cash in. So maybe he does like Graveyard Ledge with this play. Yeah, I get he's going to do that, but he kind of, the way he's doing it, he's kind of orphaning Bombos. And I've lost a few races by Bombos having flippers on it, let me tell you. There are like so many scumbag locations in this game, guys, for items. Bombos flippers is pretty high up on that list, especially with like a late mirror. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And you get his Quake from the Smith. Ivan in chat saying it doesn't really matter what order he does stuff with the plot armor he has, though. True. It doesn't. But Andy still sucks, so yes, it does. Andy gonna go ahead and actually go back down south. Okay, I was wondering like how he would kind of approach it. And I was like, this is kind of weird that he's breaking from like a safe play mindset to just like risk now. And he's like, nah, just kidding, dude. That's one. I'm just testing you, so I can LW at you when I rewatch this VOD and just say, you know what, I showed you Solski. I know what I'm doing, dude. That's why I'm playing and you're the one commentating. You know, fair. It's fair. Gets his $100 tip from the purple chest. This is the real kind of teaser here. Well, TJ goes into Skull. I think this is our first look at Skullwoods, chat. This is exciting. Byron Skullwoods, that could be big. That could be big. What's that, Bombos? It's bombs. It sucks. TJ on the trail here for maybe a good item. Andy is not happy right now. And he's like, oh my god. This mode sucks. Just another small key. That's 2 in Skull so far. Andy following suit. He's like, alright, I'm done messing around, boy. We see a big key for Skull in the pinball room. Okay, so we've gotten this big chest. Is it the goods? Question mark. It's not the goods. It's another small key. Who would have thought that Skullwoods would still suck in Map Compass Shuffle, guys? I definitely didn't. Like, I don't hate this dungeon with a passion. There's no way. I'm a huge fan of this thing, man. I love Skullwoods. It's the best. I totally didn't lose 2 championships to Andy because of it. Totally didn't happen. Just a heart piece in Skull Woods. It's like Skullwoods and Mire, guys, are like the two dungeons that are like closest to my hearts. And the memorable times I've skipped them was against Andy, of all people. And in all those times, I was ahead. So you can imagine why I still have, you know, the trendy word is, I believe, mental damage about it. Yes, it's true. I still have like the nightmares. Ask my wife. I like jolted up a couple weeks ago screaming. I didn't want to tell her what it was for. It was because I skipped that item in Mire again, okay? I didn't want to go there and just like let her know, hey, by the way, I got some problems because I played too much randomizer, but you know. We're just gonna kind of walk away from that conversation now. Let's focus on the match. Andy checking, or sorry, TJ checking, getting a Master Sword on Graveyard Ledge. So if Andy goes there too, he's gonna get tempered, which is nice. This is such calming music, right? Like it's 105. And you're still like, where the hell is my go mode? And then chat's like, I don't know what the hell the go mode is because there's no tracker. And then I'm just like, get on, guys. Okay, so recap. Our runners are looking for Fire Rod right now. That's the main product that they're looking for. The other item that they're looking for is Flippers. So that's kind of like the two big ones, right? They need Flippers to get to Swamp, which is a crystal. And you need Fire Rod to beat a Trinix at a crystal Thieves Town. So they're kind of locked in here. There's not too much left to do. TJ, I imagine, is going to probably make a play to ice soon. But we know that's not really the answer, although we'll have a part of that puzzle in the ice rod. Meanwhile, Andy, youngest Andy, is going to go ahead into Eastern Palace now. TJ thinking about what to do there. Sees the heart in. That's a really late spec rock check. Okay, it's going to make the spike cape play. Okay. Really safe compy play here. Has the half magic for the cape here. Actually, no, it's going to go up the mountain. Oh, wait, we have Bombos. Is this the TR play? I really like this play. I really like this play here. We don't have Flippers. We don't have Fire Rod. There's a lot to do still. I really like this play. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. It's Spiral. Just kidding. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel like if you've gone here and you've gone to Spiral, you gotta commit. You're already here. Just, you know what? Sunk cost. I have this nice shiny dungeon that I might be locked out of. Let's just continue on and, you know what, see what happens there. But is no gonna ignore my instructions and just gonna go ahead and go somewhere else. That's a... You know what? Fine, man. You wanna be like that? It's fine. It's cool. It's okay. It's cool. I can take it. And he's gonna go ahead and find out what's at Eastern, and sees the easiest challenge of his life. A minor pest issue. Guys, can you imagine? Like, it's just chaos, Enemizer, boss shuffle, and all you have is moths as your boss. The game would be free. Like, let's be honest. The only thing that makes Moth hard in this video game is the spike room in Skull. That's the only thing with the tracks and the spikes. That's the only thing that makes it hard. All right. God. DJ going for escape here. I think this is kind of a sweaty play. I feel like they're nervous at this point. They're like, I put this off for so long. God, I hope nothing's here. And they're not going to see anything here. But that's also a bit of the problem because they're doing it at 109. Andy's showing the same water tech. Let's go. Just avoiding that murder dackle is going to get us a look at... Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't have the flute. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's right. I forgot about that. Oh no. Oh, all right. Well, unfortunate. Guys, I think that's that plot armor that you know, chats keep historically talking about Andy. Gonna go to Meyer here. Andy really doesn't have that many options left, right? Like he's already full cleared Pot Easter now, Ice. He's dipped into Skull, has done all the thieves that he can, has finished Hera, did the basement. So really, I think this is like his only play left at this point. He does have an option to peak Desert, or not Desert, sorry, peak TR. But realistically, this is like his best option. Like he can full clear this dungeon. So it's definitely bar none his best option. And he's going to go ahead and show us some nice little Ice Rod substitution strats here. And instead of a Fire Rod to get the nice 0-cycle kill room going on. You know, it might be a 1-cycle to you. I call it a 0-cycle because I didn't have to go through any waiting, all right? So potato, it's fine. But then he's going to go ahead and check the bridge chest first. This is where I get angry with Andy. This is where I get very mad when I watch him, okay? This just gets the mushroom. I don't know why it makes me angry. I just don't like doing bridge chest first. Gets the mushroom. Interesting. He's not going to be happy seeing that. Mirror out and YOLO. It's not Solski playing, alright? I'm just gonna skip the rest of Meyer. It's fine, just leave. But the unfortunate thing about this pendant Meyer play is with Map Compass Shuffle, you are doing cutscene chests, so again, some cost, but he's in a pretty good spot right now, I'd say. Meanwhile, TJ following suit probably will chain together Desert as well, as we see the Fire Rod from Andy's side. So now we have that rod. Now we can beat the Trinex in Thieves Town. That's actually going to open up the Fat Fairy play for Andy at Pyramids. So he's going to be able to get those 2 chests there. Very well could lead to those flippers. Andy is not budging. He's like, nope, nope. You can't make me leave now. You know what? I've gotten the taste. I want the rest. So there's still flippers to find, guys. So Andy is flippers away from go mode. TJ still needs a couple of items. Okay, and the primary ones, again, are that Fire Rod and those flippers. But again, not too far behind. Is in that neighborhood. We'll be able to do Meyer and Desert. Probably will do Meyer and Desert together. So won't be too far behind him at all. Look at that swag. Just showing it up, guys. Just a laugher of a move. And he's saying no. He's saying no to the rest of Meyer. He's like, I'm out of here. I got Fire Rod. See ya. Chat, don't ruin my fun, all right? It was the last item. You're right. There's no... Guys, there's no way I would expect Andy Lasso to know to count items. There's no way. I definitely wouldn't be able to do that in Meyer. Like, it's, come on, guys, you're embarrassing me here. Like, just ease off, eh? Like, I'm kind of nervous now. Like, Andy's just gonna take that Fire Rod right to the back of Skull. Proper play. Knows it's a crystal. Has a friend following him. Interesting enough, did not cash in the mushroom though. Interesting. Andy. You're looking for one more item. You have a thing that takes 5 seconds. Thinking. But to his point, he might just find flippers here and be like, see, Solski, this is why like I'm better than you, dude. You think you were like the reason why Pug Trio did so good? No, man, it was me, dude. That's what he's saying right now. I guarantee it, guys. All right, so mummies were giving him a little bit of an issue there, but not too bad. Does Andy really have fans or just people who like watching him suffer? You guys are addicts watching him do all those like Pokemans. Oh god, this fight's hilarious. Oh god, dude. The Armos Knights and Skullwood's back is pretty funny. My favorite, and I think everyone's favorite though, is the Helmicopter. Because if you have Helmet in the back of Skull, he doesn't really know what to do. He's very nervous. Like Helmasaur is very nervous in that room because there's all those spikes. He doesn't want his tail to get injured, so he just kind of whirls it around like a helicopter. It's like probably the most hilarious thing you probably will ever see in this game. If you've never seen it, I just if I just spoiled it for you, I'm very sorry. But don't look it up. Just like continue to watch matches like these until one happens, and you'll thank me later. The first time's always a treat, guys. Nothing in Skull Woods. Okay, so Andy has options. Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock also has, again, he's got Thieves Town back. I'm surprised he's not pressing for it, actually. There we go. Okay, he's going to press for it. He's got Thieves Town to finish off now for another crystal. That'll put him up at 5 crystals to 2 right now for TJ. It's almost becoming a massive lead, honestly. But again, that's just to the benefit of how Andy kind of found his items versus kind of TJ found his items. I don't want to say it's like so much a skill thing. I want to say it's more just a bit of a rando thing, but also a bit of a route decision thing, right? Believe it or not, it's not just, hey, Andy good, Andy like win. There's a lot of other factors into the game, right? But TJ finishing off the rest of Meyer here. I really hope he finds flippers here, and he's just like, just shows chat wrong. So I'm kind of rooting for him here. I'm rooting. Okay. Okay, never mind. He realizes. Andy didn't finish the rest of Thieves here. Bit of an interesting one, honestly. I'm surprised he didn't. Oh, that's right, because he saw the boss and he left. That's why. That's what happened. That's like a map compass. That's an Enemizer special. I almost said a map compass special. That's an Enemizer special, right? You'll want to scout the boss first in Thieves because, contrary to like a regular dungeon setup, in a regular randomizer or just the vanilla game, you'd have to get blind from her cell and then bring her up after you bomb that roof that Andy kind of went through. Bring her to that room and then blind will appear. Well, as an Enemizer, like the boss is already there, so they don't have to worry about any of that. So it's a good way to kind of scout to see, hey, can I just like, beat the boss, right? And maybe get an item there. So I would say that's like a seasoned play to do that first versus the rest of the dungeon. So that kind of explains why he didn't do the back, but it's a little sweaty when you like leave this for late. Because you're like, God, are the flippers here? Question in chat, this is a good one. Is it faster to mirror there? By frame. So the one time it is faster to mirror is when you have blind and you're at the big chest and you don't have boots. That's like the one time it's actually faster. When you're in Andy's spot there, it's basically, I want to say frames to a second. Like it's not that big of a difference. Yeah, it's like no glove, no boot. Okay, just gets bombs for Trinex and don't bail out, but does have, again, that Fat Fairy Crystal. Meanwhile, TJ finishing off the Armos Knights. Gonna get the tip. Does Trinex have collision on that wall? Short answer, no. Trinex is a weird one, though. As Andy pulls out the mushroom now. This is going to be funny if it's here, honestly. I'm not going to lie. Because he could have just went right to the boss, right? That's why I thought it was, like, really weird. But anyways, Trinex has, like, a million different layers to it. And it's a shield, so it's fine. Yeah, Trinex has a million different layers to it. And it kind of operates a little differently. So I'm not really the best formed opinion or correct answer to that. And I'm squinting right now. Is Andy going to TR ahead of Fat Fairy? Question mark. Qu'est-ce que c'est? TJ gonna go ahead and scout out the pedestal. Finds out it's just gonna be the cache. Unfortunate. Flippers could be there. Like they have both rods, right? Like they pretty much have everything but flippers. Both our runners. So it's like, yeah, it could be anything there, right? It could even be flippers. Yeah, he's going to TR. This is kind of crazy. This is kind of a crazy play. I think Andy sees that's 120. He's like, all right, I've had enough of this fire, this dumpster fire. And TJ's actually making the same play here. All right, so TR is a pendant dungeon. Literally, both our runners are just looking for those flippers now. Says Rayman's pointing out in chat, yeah, TJ is doing TR without Ice Rod. But we don't know if Ice Rod's required to finish off all of TR. So say if flippers are on the boss, we don't know if Trinex is that boss yet. Unless you guys know, and it's like, you know, the compass told you. Because that's like a new thing to be. I'm going to be honest. I keep seeing menus come up, and I keep never seeing the boss. See a lot of keys in the front. Yeah, because this is non-chaos boss shuffle, I thought, right? So you can have a max of 2. So it's like the full boss shuffle. So you can have up to 2 bosses. But that's it. Like you have to have a mix of boxes, correct? Yeah. I kind of like chaos boss shuffle, but I know a lot of people don't because then they get the... all right, there it is, guys. Go mode for Andy at 122. Just a hair out of 123. TJ gonna find those flippers soon, and honestly, he's gonna just drive him right to ice. So, pretty close match, but I want to say that Andy's just a smidge ahead at this point, right? He's got Ice Palace completed. TJ still has to do ice. The benefit is that TJ's not going to have to do any more of ice once they get that ice rod in the first test in Ice Palace. But, you know what? Again, it's a crystal behind. It's a tough spot to be in. Against a really good runner, right? So it's one of those things like, sheesh, it's going to be an uphill, right? But race is not over yet. We still got a bit to go. Still got some dungeons to clear, some GT. You know, Juno could unplug Andy's PC. You know, those old tired jokes that... every commentator says and every viewer hates. But, you know what? Kudos to both our runners. It's been a pretty entertaining race for this game 1 of tonight's evening. I don't mind this mode, honestly, after watching it. I feel like it's pretty cool. I feel like there's a lot of different kind of things working within it that you got to keep in mind. That, you know, if I have never practiced or played, I'd be like lost. I'd be like, what is this? Like the Trinex mistake, right? And seeing Ice Rod, I'd be like, I don't need Ice Rod. And then I just forget about Trinex forever, right? Chat, I want to announce that you know, Emo has a special goal for her race with Andy tonight. That will be rebroadcast live on this channel, actually. Emo will actually light on fire a shirt if a certain mode rules, and I don't want to say what the mode is. If Emo wants to say the mode, that's fine. But if a certain mode rules, she's actually gonna light a shirt on fire. And you're like, what shirt is she gonna light on fire, guys? Well, you just have to find out. Why does Dataplet just have to spoil it? Mods, ban Dataplet. I'm just kidding. Don't ban them. It's okay, guys. It's fine. No bannerinos on my watch. Oh, got deleted though. Excellent. TJ going to swamp instead of ice. Yeah, that's the old dusty trail there, guys. That's the kit and caboodle. Unfortunate. So yeah, if Emo gets inverted key, she's gonna burn a shirt. Emo, my only ask is that you leave it until after if you're gonna do it like same stream, just wait till after and I will appropriately restream the burning. I have prepared a scene for it. Or I haven't. I'm just gonna like crop a window and then just put like the OBS source to Chrome and just crop your like webcam or whatever. But yeah, exciting stakes are on the line, guys. Not just like tournament races, but shirts are on the line. It's crazy. It's 2022, guys. Can you believe it? I can't. Andy getting the first taste of blind here in the back of swamp is like no big deal to him. Has 9,000 things. Actually menu to Blue Cane. That was really shameful. If this were my tournament I were running, I would actually dock him minutes for that. Like, bro, you have like 13 hearts in red mail. Like, there's no Blue Cane in this equation at all. Shameful. Andy is just a short GT climb here away from finishing this one out. Meanwhile, TJ, unfortunately, again, is just going to continue clearing off Swamp Palace here. I know what they're thinking, right? Like, you know, more the merrier. Swamp Palace has more items pound for pound than Ice. Will benefit more from the map compass shuffle than Ice Palace will. Finds all the hearts in this seed. I was wondering where all the heart containers were. They weren't in GT, guys. They were just in Swamp. So it's going to be a good plus, but not the plus they want. All right, so the unfortunate thing about this blind fight is that the script is a little off because he just flies to the back wall, but it's not too bad. There's that Blue Cane. You know what? TJ didn't need to use the Blue Cane there, right? Like, he was just kind of styling on him. There's a difference. Andy swapped to that Blue Cane in fear. TJ just swapped to it because he's like, haha, I want to kill him this way, right? Like, big difference. Andy shameful. TJ Pog. All right, chat? Teaching you guys some things to say. All right, Andy, right or left? Are you going to... Yeah, he's going to go right. I feel like the majority of players go right side first these days. At least to hope, and then they figure out where to go. And he's going to see a key. He's thinking about maybe mirroring out, but he's like, nah, I'm going to go full right. There's so many different varieties and ways people like to route GT these times. I don't really think about it too much. When I like try to call a match, I'm just like, yeah, just let them do their thing. People already have their form biases and opinion of like what's the best GT route, and really the answer is none of them. They all suck. They're only good when they work, right? Like, it's the correct answer. The winning route is the good route. All right, guys. It's seed by seed. Andy with the poor GT routing. Picking wrong here on right side. Oh my god. Oh, awful. See what I mean? It's just so easy to spin that narrative. It's just like... it's rando, guys. Come on. It's rando. It's a red rupee on that torch. So still no real help on the right side. No keys either. Tower Room first would be hard to defend against. Tower Room first is really easy to defend against if you're like super, super worried that either you're really behind or you're really ahead. And the reason why I say that is that Andy, please. I think he probably meant to do that because he knows Ether can one hit those skeletons, but come on, bro. And Andy, there we go. Calm down. What was my tangent on again? I forgot. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh yeah, Tower Room. Yeah, like it's one of those things like you can meta it, and like if you think you're really far ahead, you can just do it so you protect yourself. If you're really far behind, you can just like quote unquote all in it. I've like in bigger races, I've actually placed better than runners because I've went Tile Room first, knowing that I was behind, and like saying, you know what, if it's there, I'm just gonna make up a ton of time, and it has worked for me in the past, right? But there's other times I've seen it spur me, right? Like, luckily, I don't think it's cost me a race doing it first. But I've been right every time to know that, hey, I'm behind when I've done it. I think I've only done it a handful of times. But I've seen runners do it, and it's like really in like 1v1 matches, and it's like actually been like the payoff for them. So it's a very rare treat to see that, and I feel like it's kind of magical when it works out, right? Like it's such a good story. And people are like, "Oh man, he just like luck sacked himself into a win. Like he just won." Like, again, that's part of the game, right? It's that luck piece. So Andy continuing his way through GT. He's got Ice Armos coming up here and the quote unquote Bob chest. It's not there, so he's got Ice Armos and then he's got Tile Room. TJ also approaching his easiest fight of the game. One of. The quote-unquote Ice Lammo fight. Back-to-back Lammos. Lammo's super rare, I find, in that Ice Floor room. I feel like that's a super rare Lammo. And it's Tile Room, chat. Get your GGs in chat. GT has won the match, guys, again. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Andy just thinking right now, I gotta race another one of these. So I believe that's TJ's last crystal, so they're going to be making their climb up to GT now as well. Unless I have the memory of a fish of gold. Oh, no, there is one more crystal. Which one is it? Was it Eastern? It was Thieves. Yes, it was Thieves. You're right. Didn't have the Ice Rod. Yep. Has to kill that Trinox. Andy has to kill Ganon. In fact, they both do, but Andy's more in a rush. All right, so again, the good news is TJ just has to go right to the boss room. And honestly, like some of the plays he's made today, I can really see him go Tile Room first. I don't expect it. I never expect it from any runner to do that. I feel like it's such a nice little surprise when you see that kind of action. But that'd be so cool if he went there first and he's like catching up minutes. Is it going to be a differential to a W? Probably not, but it's one of those things that are just like really cool to see. So I really hope that happens. If it doesn't, it's like, you know, Just dancing his way through these GT gauntlet rooms. Gets a little hung up on the wall there, but it's not too bad. Still beats out that bullet timing. Fire shield does its job. And we see the one-eyed Moldorm. I had to hold my thoughts there, guys. There was like 3 words that like came to mind, and they're all not PG. So I was like, Moldorm. Is it dominating though? I wouldn't say this is dominating at all. I feel like the C kind of tossed around both runners. I feel like Andy, I've seen a little bit of frustration out of him because this C kind of sucked for him. But well, again for him, right? Like his playthrough. I think for TJ it was more unfortunate where some things ended up being. I almost want to say he was in the lead for the start, right? Like it was hard to call it with that early hook shot and Lamp and Flute for Andy, right? But like just getting to Dark World early is such a nice advantage, especially for how long Andy stalled on that hammer. So it was pretty good. It was a pretty good call and watch. So I'm pretty happy this was like the first one in this pilot project, right? So Andy seeing, so you saw those graphical errors there. Is Andy, oh no, he's not. He's not. So, cold stare at at Moldor too. Andy can hover this, but he's got to remember there's a little thing he needs to do as well, and he's going to do it once he passes this hover. He's going to set Bombos up. So the reason why he's getting Bombos out here is that you actually have to break the shell to be able to climb GT. It will not have the door open until that shell's broken. I think Andy got a little nervous there. Oh my god. Could you guys, could you imagine if that was like a critical thing? Oh my lord. All right, TJ, what are you gonna do? Oh, he's gonna pass by. Destiny is not smiling today. Andy, don't spoil it! God. He's like, whatever, man. Whatever. He's ruined the magic. All right, guys. Stream's over. Bye. God. My suspension of disbelief is shattered. It would have been like awesome if like the cold stare or like Snafu kind of carried a GT. This is like a cold stare instead of Ganon. I want something wacky to happen, right? The crab crits me for maximum damage. Does not. Am I going to commentate Emo and Andy as well? Yes, that's going to be up next. So we're going to take a short breather here on the conclusion of the race, and then we're gonna hop into game 2. So I need to hop into that race room real quick. I feel like I can still go through the final portion of TJ's finish as well. I kind of want to. At least for the pilot. I haven't made a decision on how I want to handle this yet, so. Yeah, next game will start in about 10, 15-ish minutes. And you know what? Andy. It's a 2-clap effort. One Andy Lasso has taken the victory here. How do I stop this thing? Is it 3? It's 5, isn't it? Guys, I'm using like live split for like one of the first times in a long time. But yeah, Andy's final time of 139.47. W. Nice little dub for him. I think that seals his fate into the brackets. Post-game interview? Nah. No, we're not gonna do post-game interviews today. I don't know how exactly I want the format to work out, guys. I just kind of wanted to work out some of the mechanical things on this. And kind of see like how things worked out. And everything's like worked out fine on my end. Hopefully it's worked out on your guys too. But yeah, still, you know, for a mode it's obviously an off mode for Andy, and I know he doesn't really prefer. It's good performance, right? Definitely some things didn't go his way in the seed. You know, thinking back to the hammer, where it was and how long it took Andy to get there, and thinking about the mirror, it was pretty rough at that point, right? Switch the audio. Oh, Pog audio switch. I believe this is Kirby, guys. All right, TJ, getting the unfortunate realization of the big key. Sag, some might say. I'm grooving to this song. This is a good song, dude, for gaming. It sounds like... What song was that? It's like a remake of like Gourmet Race, I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But it's Pog. Chat, I'm going to be right back. BRB. Call the match for me while I'm gone, guys. Chat, you didn't call the match. Unbelievable. All right, TJ and the torches. Oh, a little bit of a slip and trip there. Still makes it out okay. Sees the Colts here. Bombos out immediately. Seeing some traditional strats here, like not hovering across. So that's pretty much the advantage right there of that hover. It's like almost increased by double what your normal time save would be, just because you have the 2 phases of the fight to put through. But Cold, I would argue, is like in a pretty good spot in that room, just because you can kind of get them there in those corners. And TJ had a good fight with that. This climb is awful. No one look. Oh, I've seen Andy's climb. It's fine. Yours is a breath of fresh air. Trust me. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad at all. I've had some bad climbs. That was not bad. Andy threw that bomb before using bombos. Was that setting up something like spooky? No. It could answer why like the stair climb was kind of weird, because I don't think I've seen that before. Like I've hovered it before and used bombos. I don't remember having that stair climb thing happen. That was a whoa. It was kind of a moment, right? Pretty easy breezy fight at this point. Just gotta take it home. No falls. No falls. My silvers. My one true weakness. There's like 2 other weaknesses. Swords and silvers. Like he lied. And fire. Light ambiating from the fire is another weakness again. And he's not very truthful, guys. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the first matchup. TJ finishing with a round at 145.905. You can't use bombos if bombs are on the screen, so I had to throw it away for it to explode. Yeah, I figured the bomb like placement was like not was not a thing you want to do. Like it was just kind of a oops. So yeah, it was a great first race, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the first race of this nice little new project. We're gonna take a quick breather. Andy and Emo just roll their seeds so they know what they're playing. I'm not gonna spoil it. No one spoil it. Don't do it. And then it's going to be another 10 or 15 until the race starts because of the delays. Sag. But that's okay. I'll be here. You guys can chat. You know, we'll talk some biz. Is there gonna be a burning shirt? I can't tell you guys. I would never spoil such a immaculate event for you guys. But stick around, guys. Enjoy the credits of our first matchup, and then we're gonna go to a break screen for a little bit, just so we you know, we can all have a break. Andy and Emo, while they get ready to go and their restream catches up, I can set up the next overlay, and then we'll get into game 2 of our fun-filled night here. So guys, stick around. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll be back for more action tonight at Fight Night.